Let's let's continue the our HANA administration topic here. So we discussed in the HANA Studio, we are discussing about the overview tab, the landscape tab, about the list of process, CPU, memory utilizations, and all those things we are discussing. And also in the overview tab, we are discussing about the next overview about all those things. And alerts tab, in the alerts tab, we can see the critical errors and the red alerts and all those things we are checking here, right? And the performance tab. So here we can see the sessions here, how many are active, how many are running here. So sessions, threads, blocked transactions. So all those things here, we can check it out here, right? All those things here, we can check it out, the volumes tab and everything here. The next one is the configuration tab here. The configuration tab is like the tuning the HANA database. Tuning the HANA database means changes in the HANA database, which means suppose if you want to limit the memory utilization, if you want to limit the CPU utilization, if you want to change the parameter, kind of parameters. In the HANA level, if you want to change the parameters, thresholds, parameters, configurations or anything, we have to use this configuration tab. We have to use it here. We have to use the configuration tab here. So here we will get the all the information. Here we will get the all the some timeout parameters, memory parameters, or anything system level. So SAP level, if you want to do the changes normally, how we will do the changes RG10 and RG11, the T codes we will use it for changes here. For HANA level, so we have to use the HANA Studio, then the configuration tab we will use to change the HANA parameters and the parameter values. We can change it here. HANA parameters and the parameter values we can use to use this one. We can change this one here, right? HANA configuration parameters, right? So suppose if you see here, INA files are there here. HANA INA files here. INA files means parameter files here. So each process there is a separate INA file. Suppose like compile server.ini, computer daemon DMS. So each process there is a respective INA in name server.ini, preprocessor.ini. INA files are there. Means suppose there is a index server. If you want to control the index server usage, suppose like if you want to some name server related parameters, some changes you want to do it here, then we can do it using this configuration. Using this configuration, we can do that one here. Here here we can find out, or we will come to know as part of the EW recommendations, or as part of this one, we will come to know how many sessions, how many, so how many parameters, what we have to change it here, what is the value we have to change it. We will get the requirement. Based upon the requirement, we can go to the system DB. Yeah, why? Because the controlling of the parameters, we have to do it from the system DB only. The controlling of the parameters, we have to do it from the system DB, right? For tenants, all everything, system DB only, we have to change it here, right? If you change it, so the value will be changed here. Suppose if you don't know the parameter, then you can type it. What is the parameter? Suppose like timeout parameter, like then you can timeout parameters. Let's see here, what is the timeout parameters are configured here. So session timeout means if the HANA Studio you opened, but if you are the idle for some time, your session will be disconnected. Like that, we can set the parameters and everything. We can discuss. We can set it out. Suppose like see here 24 hours. If any session 1440 minutes, right? Which means 24 hours. So if any session is the 24 hours, is the idle time. Idle time means, so if the session is not doing anything, he connected to HANA Studio, is not working anywhere, then in this case it will be disconnected. So now you don't want to 24 hours. I want to, so 2 hours. 2 hours, user is opened the session. Then if he is not doing anything, suppose by default 24 hours. Okay. But what I'm saying here, suppose HANA Studio you opened, but is not doing anything in the system. He is idle. Just he closed this one. Is not doing anything. He is doing other session, other work he is doing. He carried out the other sessions, other work he is doing in the systems. But session is still idle. Session idle means still it will take the memory from the system, right? still it will take the memory from the system, it will consume it. Even though you are not working, your session is active, so some memory issues in the system. So in that case, what we can do, if you set this timeout parameters, example I'm telling, timeout parameters, what will happen if you are idle for 2 hours, immediately your HANA session will be disconnected. Again, you need to reconnect it here. Again, if you are working, reconnect it here. So like that, I set the one parameters here, right? Same as like here, what I have to do, suppose in any case, suppose if in any case here, some memory parameters, okay? Suppose like example, here HANA database, there is a 36 GB it is used. So suppose like you see here, what is here 36 GB. Total main memory you have given 36 GB here. Here the free memory is available here. So currently only, so you have the total 40 GB, your Linux memory. Suppose like if you see the free-G here, free-G total 40 GB you have given to the HANA, sorry, Linux. In that 40 GB, 36 GB you have allocated here. No, I don't want to give the 36 GB. I want to only give the 30 GB to my this database. Then how can you control it here? How can you control the memory usage of the HANA process here? Then in that case, what we have to do? We need to change the parameters here. So timeout parameters, same as like some memory parameters. So there are some memory parameters here, which will restrict the database's usage here. Suppose, for example, there is a global allocation limit and statement memory limit, and these are the statement memory thresholds. So which means what will happen here? So whenever the system DB, so whenever the tenants are consuming more memory, then entire your HANA OS will go hung status if you don't have this parameter. Then normally, so timeout parameters, if you set it, filter it here, we can set it out. Otherwise, if you go to the global.ini, if you set the some like memory, something like that, if you set here filter, then all the memory related parameters will be opened here. Suppose you want to check manually, so if suppose like backup changes, some authentication changes, anything, suppose like memory management changes here. So then there is a statement memory limit, statement memory thresholds, right? Global allocation limits 0, which means global allocation limit is 0, which means so here, so it will use the unlimited memory. No, I don't want to use the unlimited memory. I want to use only 30 GB, to this database here. Then you save it. Here. Okay. Global allocation limit 30 GB, 30. That is a 3 GB. 1024. Changes are not allowed for the tentative databases. Where you are changing? Oh my God, you are directly changing the tentative database. Normally, we have to do it from the system DB. That is the wrong mistake we are doing here, right? So directly cannot do changes in the tentative DB. So you have to do it from the system DB only here. So if you know the parameter,
disturb in between, is there any specific activity those we have to take care from the means we need to do it from the tenant?
Specific activity means all the like any administration operations, either parameter changes, stopping and starting, and deleting the databases, tenant databases, controlling the tenant databases, everything we have to do it from the system DB only. So directly in the system DB, you can only applications will have the access, will do the insertion operations and everything. So specific operations means some kind of like exporting the tables, importing the tenant database tables, only the specific tenant related things like data insertion, inserting the data into the table level, some of the development related activities, our admin activities like exporting the table, importing the table. So some monitoring of the only monitoring, just checking the status of the alerts of the tenant data specific to tenant databases, checking the process here, then overview. So this kind of only small things we can do it, but the major maintenance activities. So I can say major maintenance activities like, so if you want to stop the tenant, we want to parameter change a specific list of activities, then deletion of the tenant, addition of the tenant. So these are 4 or 5 operations we have to do it from the system DB. Remaining and all we have to do it from the tenant DB. Got it? Only specific set of activities we have to do it from the tenant and specific set of activities from the system DB. System DB is the ground floor, which means owner. Owner will have the control of the all the tenants. Owner has the decision of the all the tenants. Owner will controlling and he will do the administration act, stopping, starting, deleting, and so changes of the tenants, tenants controlling options, everything owner can do. But so tenant has own so access, like we can connect to the specific tenant, then we can export the data inside of the home. We can tenant related things, we can export it, right? Those things we can perform it by using this tenant databases. We can use it here. Specific set of activities here. Suppose parameter changes. When I'm trying to do the changes here, it's not allowing. Why? Because it is saying that you have to control it from the via system DB only. Then here we need to go to the global.ini in the system DB, global.ini here. Yeah, global.ini here, memory manager. These are the some known parameters here. Most frequently asked parameters. These are the. Suppose I want to change the memory utilization 30 to 35 GB to 30 GB here. Then immediately it will change it here, which means so memory usage 30 GB, I changed it here 30 GB, which means now 36 GB. But so I want to only use the 30 GB only. I want to use only 30 GB only here. So then immediately it will change it. The procedure will change it here. So once it is refreshes, it will change it to the 30 GB 30. It will come to the 30 GB here. It will come to the 30 GB here, right? See here 30 GB. It change it to the 30 GB, which means these are the dynamic. These are the temporary. No need to do the restarts, right? Some parameters we require to do the restart. Some parameters we don't require to the restart here. Sir, how can I find out? Suppose example, these are the some performance related parameters. These are the some HANA performance related parameters here. So by using these parameters, so we can control the tenant databases usages. Sir, not only memory usages, we want to control the SQL execution, statement executions, and everything here, right? Sometimes what happens, there the one SQL statement will use the more than 200 GB, 300 GB data. Sir, I want to control that kind of things here. Then you can put the statement memory limit, which means, sir, so here 4096, 4 GB. I want the tenant are why? Because all the SQL statements, load, calculations, data loading will be executed in the specific to the tenant databases only. In the tenant database that will be executed. In the tenant database that will be executed. So, sir, I don't want to each every SQL statement to execute more than 4 GB. If the 4 GB crossed, why? Because one SQL statement is using the more than 4 GB, then 10 SQL statements, then so there are many things, 10 SQL statements, then lot of memory it will consume it. I don't have that much of memory. So what I can do, I can control it. Like one SQL statement will consume only 4 GB only. If it is the more than 4 GB, then immediately the operations will be cancelled. Like that, we can do the HANA parameter changes in the HANA databases. We can do the changes here by changing the configuration tab. We can do the changes here, right? So like that we can do the changes here, right? So this is the configuration tab here, configuration tab. So we can do the changes about, suppose like tomorrow there is a someone asked you to change the some backup related settings or name server related settings, some pre-processor related settings. Then you can go to this one, you can do the changes here. Here, what you need to remember is here, if parameter changes are there in HANA, where to do the changes here, where to do the configuration settings. Normally, when you purchase the phone, you will get the by default things, you will get it out. By default things means by default theme, by default volume, by default ringtone, all those things you will get. Later, after that, once you got the new phone, you will go to the settings tab and you will do all the changes, whatever you favorite color, favorite phone, favorite theme, music, everything you will set to the new phone, right? Same as like here, during the installation time, the default settings will come from SAP. No, you don't want to use the default settings. You want to configure your own. Then, so this is the place in the configuration tab. So in this place, we can do the whatever the settings, whatever the tuning you want to do it, we can do it from here. That is called the configuration tab here. In the configuration tab, so whatever the changes, database related parameter changes, time mode changes, so limitations, restrictions, all those things we can do it. We can do it from the this parameter, all those things we can do it from here. Okay, so that is the we can that is the so that is the reason. So we have this parameter here, right? Configuration tab here. The same time, if you see here, system here also available, but we cannot directly do the changes here sometimes, right? It will not allow. So system information. System information means system level. If you want to know some details, system level, if you want to know some details here, I want to know the backups related things. I want to know the how many sessions are there. Means predefined SQL statements here. Suppose you want to check the sessions, what you have to do, you need to go to the landscape tab or performance tab and check the sessions. 2 sessions are active, like that you will inform to our manager, right? So like that you will inform. But instead of going this one, you can go to the here, the right click and just execute it here. Here the data will be displayed here. Here the data will be displayed here. Then you can download. You can save this data as a HTML or XML file. You can download it. You can provide the report to your manager. You can provide the report to your manager, like that. We can do that one here, right? This is the changes about the your data and everything here. Okay, this is about the ECQ related changes. Suppose like system information. Someone asked about your database information. Just right click and execute it. Your data information will be saved here. Someone asked about the your some like records, like total workload, open transactions. Someone asked, your manager asked about the size of the tables on the disk. How many tables are there? I want you need some data, like the tables. How many tables are there? Like what is the usage of the tables? What is the disk usage? How much it is used? You need all the details. Then you can use this. You can use this disk size and schema name to pull the data. Just click on the save, report it, the data will be generated. So in case if any information is required for you, then check in the system information. Default statements are available here. Just if you need that information, right click and execute it, then it will provide the information, right? That it will give the some information.
Can we get that older data, like 1 month data, 15 days
Only
data?
live data we can get it out. If you want to old data, so you need to go to the tables level. There are some statistics tables are there. The statistics table data, maybe you need to write the queries. There are the queries are there, SQL queries. Using that SQL queries, so we need to get the older data. Yeah, some historical data we can get it out. That's possible.
So this system information is only to display the content of the daily
Current,
wage.
yeah, current wise. Suppose like if you see the connections, list of connections, currently these connections are active. These connections are active. That's why it's showing here. Suppose say size on the table. Size as of now, what is the current size in the table level? It's showing here, right? So history we cannot find out here. So only current size we can find out from here, right? If you want to find out the history, then some queries we have to execute it as per the SAP notes. There are some SQL queries are there. There we can come to that query and we can execute it. That SQL queries. Suppose example, there is a one note here. There is a notes here. In the notes, you see in the notes we can see it here. So what is executed and all the there is some SQL statements in that notes here. So there are some SQL statements here, right? You can see these all are the SQL statements. SQL statement which SAP provided. You no need to write any query. SAP predefined. They will in the note they have provided all those things here. You asked me, right? So historical data can we find out? Yes, we can find out. So there is a notes. These all are the notes are there here. So then what we can do? We can check what is your requirement here. What is your requirement? History of the retention time and server statistics, server response time. Then so I'll open this one, go to the system level, then execute the query. execute the your query and here, then the data will be displayed here. The data will be displayed here. So the query will be executed. So make sure these queries sometimes will pass the system down, or because long running queries. So then we have executed, the results will be displayed. So that's possible. Only thing is that you need to find out the right query. What is the SQL right query here? Then based on that, you have see lot of queries are there. Security, a lot of queries are there.
We can
Sir,
execute
where we can get
queries in the
this
HANA
queries?
DB level as well.
This queries,
Studio level.
studio level, we can execute it. Yes. Yeah, this is what we can do. Studio level, I have executed. I got the all the table.
Which tab this one?
Right click and open SQL console. Then in the SQL console, it will open it. Here we can write the queries. Select star from. So, but you no need to write any queries. But if you want to write it anything, you can write it here. That's possible. Normally, we won't write anything. If you want to execute anything as part of this one, we can execute it. We can troubleshoot it.
Where we can get this note, sir?
In the SAP standard notes, we can get it out. There is a note.
No, in the SAP portal or
SAP portal only. SAP site
Okay.
only. There is a note. In the note, attachments are there. In that attachment, you can find out the list of SQL statements, up-to-date SQL statements. So in that SQL statement, whatever you required, whatever you are looking, all the information are available here, right? So whatever you are looking, mini checks, normally those checks, mini checks, normally anything, so we can execute it. Memory check, network overview, host overview, network overview, landscape, disk, time frame, landscape. So all the information we can get it out. Each and everything, there is a query. So the queries, if you execute it, that will come. Sir, I want to write the queries means you can write it out, but unnecessarily it's not our administrator, admin side. So developer will write that queries, but our duty is executing the query, find out the information. Find out the information here, right? It is the information here. So that is the system information. Normally here in the system information, no one asked me in like I have 10 plus years of experience in the HANA, but no one asked me like provide this information, that statics. Only troubleshooting perspective, someone troubleshooting perspective, this will be very helpful here, right? Troubleshooting perspective. In the troubleshooting perspective, like here we can find out some information, troubleshooting side. Are there any issues, anything? So that if we execute it, directly data will be displayed here. Open transactions, label logs, size, sessions, all those things we can check it out here. System information. So next one is the diagnostic information. Someone asked, right? I think in the previous classes, sir, if something process is wrong, something compile server is running or index server is running long, or CPU memory utilization, IO utilization, what causing the issue? We need to find out, sir. Where can you review the logs? Means diagnostic files. So diagnostic files are the files here. Diagnostic files are the files here. So here we can find out the related log files here. So what are the SQL statements are executed in the HANA database level, index server level, right? Access engine. Access engine, what is the use of the access engine? What the access engine is doing here in this case here, right? What are the things are happening here in the index server level, right? Access engine level. So what is the error message in the index server level? Let's see here. So what is the error message? Currently system user, what is done from the HANA Studio level? So HANA Studio level, so he done some parameter changes, like we done some parameter changes. See, that information also got recorded in the log file, right? Suppose without our knowledge, one of our team members will do the changes, which will impact it here. But whatever you are doing in the here, everything will be recorded. There is a log. If you open this log file here we can find out the information, what's happening, who done it here, what. So all those things here, it's done it here. Here it's information, it's completed here. You can see it here. So threads, all the information, username, application name. So all the information, error messages, no default memory PSC found from the except locations, right? So this is the replication related things here, right? HANA replication related log files here. So we can find out all those things, we can find out in the index server log file. So if you start troubleshooting, looking the index server log file, we can fix all the issues. Why? Because actual data resides in the index server only, right? Actual data resides in the index server. So if the index server log is up to date and you are reviewing means, then definitely we can find out the issues here. Only the error is coming means because of the index server only, right? Backup related log files here, access engine related log files here. Sir, I can see only index server, access engine, index server, access engine. Where are the remaining process log files means? So if you go to the system DB, diagnostic files here of the system DB here we can find out the, so name server, daemon, statistic server, system availability, preprocessor, compile server, web dispatcher, all the information related log files we can find out here. So this is at least SAP will ask us to provide the log files here. SAP will ask us to provide the log files to troubleshooting it here. In case you will check here, you will not able to find out, you are new to, you don't have prior experience on the HANA database troubleshooting side, you are new, but SAP will ask us to provide the log files. Basis team, could you please provide the trace files from the trace directory? They will provide you all those things, but you should know, right, where is the trace files and where is the log files are located and everything. Sometimes they may ask you to collect the diagnostic information, diagnostic can collect it. So when was the issue? Sir, like issue was happened on up to 14th only. 14th we have the issue got happened. 14th at so only the 14th date you have issue got occurred. Then collect the log files here. Then select it here. Then the log files collection will happen here. The log files, the collection will happen from here. That will happen here. Okay, that will happen here. The log files, collection files will happen in this case here, right? So like that we can investigate the information, like that we can provide the,
We
so
can take it from the OS level as well, na?
yes.
CD trace directory through.
CD trace,
From the CD trace.
yeah, OS level CD trace here.
Okay.
OS level
understood.
CD trace here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
What is the exact word? CD trace.
CD means in the trace directory it is available in the OS level. Anyhow, we have the OS level class. So that we can you have the OS level logs. So means OS level there is a session that time I can provide the more. This is the one CD trace. Here also same log files are available. Name server, index server, name server, index server, name server, preprocessor, compile server, log files are available. So one way, if the system is up, you can go to the HANA Studio level, you can check it out. But system is down, so you want to check the log files, why it is down and everything, then you can go to the OS level. There is a trace directory. In the trace directory, you can find out all the log files here. Trace directory, we can find out all the log files and everything here. All right. So that information we can find out. That information we can find out here.
What is this merge diagnosis?
What is that?
Merge diagnosis.
Merge
Okay, on upper side.
means all the files, merging all the files here, merging all the log files into the one single zip file, merging all the log files into one single zip file here. Merging means merging all the log files here. So you want to merge all the last 24 hours, or you want to time frame hours into the export to the CSV file, or only merging to show only trace files last 24 hours, then it will be recorded here. It will be recorded. All the log files will be clubbed, only error log will be displayed. You can see all the log files are merged, then only error logs are displaying here. What is the error log files? All the log files, the main things are showing here. Troubleshooting, these all are the to troubleshoot the issues, fixing the issues, all are like that only here. These log files and everything here. Merge docs is here. So if you want to delete the trace files, then you can delete it. Delete all the log files, all the class dump file, all the alerts files, you can delete it. So cleanups here. See here, deleted here. I want to delete those things also. Delete the traces.
In the real time, we delete the trace files.
Normally these files are not required, right? Why unnecessarily it will use the space and everything. We can clean up, but not the current log files. Historical like older than 1 week, older than these days data, we can delete it. That's why we can delete it. We can do that one. So each and every process, there is a Suppose system DB we have the 5 process, name server, preprocessor, web dispatcher, compile server, those related log files we can see it here. So those related log files we can see it here, right? Those related log files we can see it here. So if they want to collect the diagnostic information, we can collect it. So then if you want to delete, you can delete it. If you want to merge all the log files, what is the error message they want to show it? So we can merge it and we can show that one here. That is possible here. Okay. That is possible here. The trace directory. That is possible here. Right?
Ravi, here we have only the concept of the means we have only the Python dumper will be there, right?
Data.
Python dump.
Python dump. Python
Huh.
dump means here HANA Studio level, you can do the collection of the diagnostic files. Okay, HANA Studio level you can collect it. Otherwise, OS level, if you want to execute it, there is a Python script, so you can execute the Python script here OS level. So that Python script, if you execute it, so that is also will do the collection of the log files. Multiple ways you can use, scripts, you can use it to collection of the dumps log files for the troubleshooting purpose. So trace directory. So trace directory is trace configuration. Trace configuration means additional traces. Suppose these log files are not enough to troubleshoot the issue. You need more. You need more. SAP asked you to provide the more log files for this issue, right? Then in this case, go to the trace configuration. So by default, the default database trace is on. Suppose they asked you to perform the SQL trace, then enable the SQL trace here. Enable the SQL trace here. SQL trace for what the particular user. So Ravi user, you can enable the SQL trace here. Then it will collect all the log files which are related to the Ravi. So now trace is active. Now SQL trace activated. Now whatever I am doing in the studio level, console level, and studio level, whatever I am doing here, all the log files will be recorded now. All of these things are recorded now. So because trace is active here, whatever Ravi is doing here, everything will be recorded here. Then we can find out what is the exact issue, who is doing what, and everything here, right? So performance graph, system performance relay, system when the system is slowness, so unable to access. So then, so not sure what's happening in the particular time, then we can collect the performance trace. Sometimes they may ask you to enable the SQL statement trace, which to find out which are the long running SQL statements. So by default trace is enabled. That is fine. But by default, doctor will check us and will find out here. But sometimes he will ask us to send the reports, right? Then that time we will go the diagnosis. Then we will get the reports and we will provide the additional reports to him to find out. Same like here. So these log files are enough. The generating the log files are enough. Sometimes rare cases we require the more. They require the more to confirm. It's not recorded that time. So we can generate this trace configuration files and all those things we can generate it. This end-to-end traces, all those things we can generate it here. So suppose like you want to find out, not sure what the users are doing in the system. Because of that, we need to find out because of one user, system is getting crashed. So I want to know, I want to check that one, who is doing what here. No, not only one user. I want to check all the database users. Then I want to check all the application users. So user trace. Then you click on the finish button here. Now what will happen here? Now all the users. Now all the users here, user configured. Now all the users in the database level, if they are doing something in the database level here, that will be recorded in the one text file. That will be recorded in the one text file that will be recorded here. One text file that will be recorded here. One text file that will be recorded here. So that we can find out what causing the issue, who did what causing the issue, then who did what, who did the changes in the system, it's system user, okay, administrator user, he done the what changes he have done it here in the system, he done the some changes, some name server data ni, some trace changes he have done it. See, that is also tracked here. So that is also getting tracked here. It's getting tracked. Everything will getting tracked here, right? So that will happen in the systems. That will happen in the systems here, right? System traces, all those things will happen in the systems here. Who done what? what they have done it, what log files, who established the connection. So this is trying to find out the more logs actually. So existing logs are available. Then if we don't want to those logs, and we can activate these traces. But make sure while activating the traces, it will generate the more logs. It will keep on filling your file system. Then again, if file system got full 100% full, then what will happen? 73%. Then keep on enabling this years back. Then this 76 GB also occupied. Then system will go to the on status as well. So make sure we need to properly do all the details and everything here, all the active things, user configurations and all the things here, right? That is the performance related things here, right? So these and all the as and when any issues in the system, we have to regularly go to these diagnosis files. Then we need to find out the log files and everything here, all the log files and everything. We can find out the information here. That is the main thing of this diagnosis files here. If you are unable to find out also, SAP will ask us to share the details of this diagnosis log files. So just you can open the log file. So then you can also download the log files. Sir, I don't have access to the OS level. Then how can I do that one? Here also you can download it. Here also you can download to the local laptop or desktops also you can download it. So studio also we can access it. So OS level also we can access it. So trace configuration. Sometime SAP will tell you like, so existing logs are not enough. Please enable the SQL trace. Please enable the SQL trace. Then find out what's happening in the system and everything here, right? Then we can enable the SQL trace, each and every trace. So it will be enabled by name of Ravi. Then it will be tracked. So we have the proofs. Proofs are there. Then so whatever you want to do the respective action, we can take the actions here. Why? Because you are collecting the proofs here. You are collecting the proofs here. Executed SQL statements. Who executed what SQL statements here, right? All the information, merged traces, all the information it will be tracked under here, right? That is the traces here, trace configuration, diagnosis files here. Only rare cases we will touch this trace configuration. System information also we will never touch this one, only exceptional cases. But regularly we will check the diagnosis files. Then this is also regular. Only main important things are here: overview tab, alerts tab, landscape tab, OLAP, and OLAP traces. The first four, and so this last two diagnosis files are very, very, very important tabs here. Day to day we will use regularly. Daily we will log in, we'll see any red alerts here. We will see any restarts in the diagnosis file, any memory replacement, iMemory replacements are there in the system or not. We can check it out here. All the information we will check it out here. All the information we can check it out here. So this is about here. Suppose if you want to stop the databases here, we can stop and start it also here. So which means if you want to stop the tenancy database, you can stop the tenancy database. You can restart the tenancy database, right? In the configuration monitoring, administration means this is the administration. HANA cockpit is separated. This is no HANA cockpit now. In the with HANA 2.0 separately we have need HANA cockpit, and stop and start we can do it. Replication configuration also we can do it here, right? So this is what we can do it in the HANA studio level. So main thing is you should know about the diagnosis files. Why? Because we are the technical consultant. We should know about how to check the log files, how to check the issues, what's happening in the index server and everything. That is our main duty here. So sometimes the people are complaining, some people are saying that the system is very slow, not sure what's happening and everything here, right? So when I checked here, the multiple people, they have multiple databases, multiple index servers are installed. Then because of that one, it's very slow. So we need to find out who installed what. Then if you enable the tracing and everything, if you start reading the notes and troubleshooting, you will find out what causing the issue. Why the performance issues here? Are there any threads open status here? Are there any long running sessions in the system? So if you keep on checking out, we can avoid this type of performance issues in our system, right? So this is the way we need to check all the things and everything here. Okay, this is the what we have to do it in the systems.
Any sequence like to stop tentative and system DB, or we can do it?
I think if you just to stop it, automatically system will follow the system will follow the sequence. You no need to follow the sequence. System will take care of the sequence here, right? If you right click on the HANA DB, if you stop it, system will take care. System will take care of the stopping the all the process, including index server. So it will stop it.
No, not that one. Like first we have to stop tenant 2, then second we have to stop system DB like that, or we can do it anytime.
Anything.
System DB.
No, no, when you are clicking the stop button, automatically it will stop system DB, tenant DB here. Here stop button means it's not only system DB. Tenant, you won't get the stop button here. See, why? Because you cannot control from only tenant, you cannot stop it from here, right? Only everything we have to control it from the system DB only. See, right click and system DB to stop it. If you stop it, what will happen? It will stop the tenant as well as the system DB is also here. Sir, I don't have any requirement. I want to stop only specific tenant database only. Then right click on here, you need to write the command. So alter, I want to stop only specific to the tenant. Alter system, the stop database. Then what is the database name here? I want to stop only tenant database name. So XYZ. Then you can type the XYZ, only the XYZ database will be stopped. So like that we have to.
Will there be any problem if the log file is, we can make a zip into to reduce the file system?
Which log files? The number of
No,
log
you
files.
said in the voice level, if the file system reach 100%, then system will
That
right?
log files we cannot touch it. Those are /nr log file, /nr data file. We should not touch that files.
No, in very rare cases like emergency at that time.
Emergency also we should not touch those files here. Only we may have to use the, in case 100% is full, we need to check the reason, or we need to run the backups, or we may have to extend the space. But if you touch that files, if you deleted some zip files or something, immediately MR, you need to do some cleanup. Like, see, this is the cleanup, like old trace files deletion. This is the 2 GB. So this does not require. Then we can delete these log files and everything, right? So we can, if you do this kind of cleanup, we will get some free space. Then immediately can run the backups so that the log folder will get some free.
So we can delete this trace files, right?
Yeah, trace files we can do the cleanup. Why? Because it's log files already. There is nothing important here. Log files it generate deleted, again it will create it here. System will create it. So nothing, there is nothing, we can delete it.
So this is the major part usually we will do in the housekeeping at the major
Housekeeping. Yeah, every 3 months, everything. So what I have done it in my current customer, I have a script actually. What I will do it here. See, all download it, select it, all download it. See, all the files are downloaded. So it will give some free space. It will give some free space here. So like example, it will give some free space here. Space we will not fill up. So that is the one thing here. Normally in my